Dear students, welcome to Universitat Autònoma de Barcelona. I am Xavier Ramla and I will be coordinating your subject on social change and globalization. Unfortunately, today I have to be abroad, particularly in a conference on education and development in the UK, and you are here starting your course in Barcelona. Since I cannot be at the same time in two places, I decided to record this video just to give you a hint of the whole course and recommend you to have a look at a couple of links in internet, so that next week we can start discussing the main issues and focusing on it. You also have a Moodle room with you can check for these days, but I will be posting the main documents of the course in that place in the following week, so don't worry about that, have a look. I also know that some of you are starting to are thinking on your enrollment in the course. Maybe you are not yet enrolled. If you are not and you have any doubt, you can send an email to me just looking for my name, Xavier Ramla, in Google, and you can also, or we can also make an appointment for next week. As to the course, let me start with one of the main items of information you surely need: assessment. You will have three different grades. The first one has to do with take-home exams and conceptual questions. We will have two take-home exams, one in November, one in December or January. And you will also be asked to participate in online forum in order to discuss these theoretical questions. Your second grade has to do with writing an essay on a specific topic which will have to do with sustainable development goals in a way. I will tell you a lot more about that next week. And thirdly, you will have to undertake to carry out demographic analysis of a single country, looking at the imbalances between socioeconomic development and mortality rates. We will have special workshops to work on the compulsory literature and the technical skills you need to carry out this demographic analysis. So don't worry about that. We will schedule everything next week. Just keep in mind that it's three different activities: conceptual questions and take-home exams, writing an essay, and analyzing mortality according to socioeconomic development. Well, today I wanted to introduce you a general topic which will be the focus of our initial lectures next week. As you know, this year there have been four big, really huge international conferences on development. Some months ago, the main international leaders met in Korea to decide on the following Education for All plan, which will be launched between this year and 2013. In summer, these leaders also met in Ethiopia in order to discuss and make some agreements about how to finance development. Finally, in the following months, there will be an even bigger summit in order to agree on the sustainable development goals that will be launched for this period between 2015 and 2030. And by the end of the year, another big conference will make key decisions on policies and technologies to address climate change. So this is the year of development. This is the year of big debates in academia, in research, and in policy forum about how to design, arrange institutions which actually render important improvement in a number of areas which we simply label as development. Well, I will ask you, you will find a link in your Moodle room with a couple of pieces discussing these big issues. One of them is linked to the main list of the Sustainable Development Goals, which will be approved in the following months. I just want you to have a look, just to have a sense of the topics which are at stake. You can read it, the full paper if you want, but I just want you to have a look at the list of the 17 goals and some of the indicators which are at stake. You will see that it has to do with environment, it has to do with poverty, it has to do with inequality, it has to do with economic policies, it has to do with health, with education, with biodiversity, and with climate change in a way too, with water management, with agriculture, with many issues. It's a very broad focus. Being aware of that, you can also read another piece, which is a short article, comment article published in the Project Syndicate website, where a think tank argues that this range of topics is too broad, that actually we should focus on a narrower range of topics, and we should be sure that we knew that they were going to have an impact, so that we got actually value for money, we got actually an important and significant impact of our actions. Well, this is the debate. Just have a look at it, and we will go on next week discussing that. I want to finish by reminding you a couple of big issues about social change which have to do with these debates. The first big issue is progress. There has been a long intellectual concern with progress since the 18th century. Basically, progress means that social change carries out improvement. In the end, the undergoing social changes are improving social welfare, so that people can live longer, can have broader cultural horizons, can avail of higher material prosperity, and so on. This is one of the issues. Think of it. Think to what extent these international summits are actually contributing to progress, if they are going to do it for sure, or you can cast some doubt about their contribution to progress. The second issue has to do with the mechanisms of social change, with the importance of actors in the making of social change. Do you think that governments, social movements, political parties, international organizations, networks of experts, and so on, can really make a difference in social change, and can have a say and can actually decide on what development is going to be for the following decades? Or do you think that they cannot, that they have simply to respond to circumstances, to external forces, and they have to do the best to adapt to these external drivers of social change? It has also been a long debate, and of course it's also related to the current questions I have been commenting for you. So that's all. Just let me thank my colleague to come to the classroom to introduce myself, to introduce this video, and to say hello to all of you. I hope we meet next week. Write to me if you need it. Just take your time to have a look at this link in my personal blog. You can get to it through the virtual through the Moodle room. If you don't have your login, you can also look for me in Google. Look Xavier Rambla blog UAB, and you have it. There is a post on sustainable development goals there. Read it, look at the links, and let's meet next week to go on with the course. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for your patience and your understanding of this weird, but I hope anyway operative way of starting a course. See you next week.